Deductions to be made from gross total income for resident individual continued. Income Tax Act 1961. Lesson 15. Deductions to be made from gross total income for resident individual continued. We are continuing this from lesson 14. B. Deductions under 80D. Deduction under section 80D. This deduction is also allowable in respect of individual and HUF. This is for medical insurance, premium, health checkup and medical treatment. Section 80D. However, the amount of deduction is up to rupees 25,000 rupees in case of individual for medical insurance premium for preventive checkup of self, spouse and dependent children or contribution to CGHS, Central Government Health Scheme. However, if the insured person is a senior citizen, then the deduction is restricted to 50,000 rupees. For expenditure on medical treatment for self, spouse or dependent children, maximum amount is up to 50,000 rupees. However, for both the purposes, the total amount of deduction should not exceed 50,000 rupees. That is for insurance and for expenditure for treatment. The same is the provision for HUF member also. The payments, however, should be made out of assessee's total income during the previous year. Deduction under section 80DD. The deduction under section 80DD is for medical treatment and deposit made for maintenance of handicapped dependents. This is also allowable to the individual and HUF. The amount of deduction is 75,000 rupees, irrespective of the actual amount of expenditure incurred. That is, even if the total expenditure incurred and the deposit made in approved scheme is 65,000 rupees, the deduction allowable will be 75,000 rupees. In case of severe disability, the deduction allowable is 1,25,000 rupees. D. Deduction under section 80G. This deduction is allowable to an assessee who has made donations to specified institutions during the financial year. This deduction is allowable at 100% of the donations in some cases and at 50% of the donations in some cases. Donations made to the following funds are allowable at 100%. A. National Defence Fund. B. Prime Minister's National Fund. C. National Children Fund. D. Chief Minister's Earthquake Relief Fund, Maharashtra and Gujarat. E. Any state government fund for providing medical relief to the poor. F. Air Force Central Welfare Fund. G. National Sports Fund. H. Swachh Bharat Kosh. I. Clean Ganga Fund, etc. Further, the donations to the following funds are allowable at 50% of the amount donated. A. Jawaharlal Nehru Memorial Fund. B. Prime Minister Drought Relief Fund. C. Indira Gandhi Memorial Trust. D. Rajiv Gandhi Foundation. E. Any fund or institution established in India for charitable purpose as is referred to under section 80G5. F. Any authority for town planning and housing. G. Any institution established in India for a charitable purpose which incurs expenditure maximum 5% of its total for a religious purpose under section 80G5B. H. Any temple, mosque, gurudwara, church or other place of worship which is of historic, archaeological or artistic importance. And I. Any trust, institution or fund established for a charitable purpose under section 80G5C. This is subject to following conditions. The amounts of donations to E, F, G, H should not exceed 10% of the gross total income of the assessee. The deduction on donation of above 10% of gross total income will not be allowed. That is, here gross total income for this purpose means gross total income minus deductions under section 80C to 80U before deduction under this section. Income on which tax is not payable and long-term capital gains and short-term capital gains under section 11A. and income in relation to non-resident and foreign companies. These incomes are to be excluded for arriving at the gross total income. The donations above rupees 2000 shall be allowed only if paid by mode other than cash. Means cash donations above rupees 20,000 will not be eligible for deduction. The donations need not be made out of current year's income. E. Deduction under section 80T. This deduction is allowable to any individual other than a senior citizen who is entitled to deduction under section 80TB or a HUF. This deduction is available in respect of interest received from saving account in any bank or post office. However, interest on fixed deposit or recurring deposit is not eligible. This is only for interest on saving bank account and it is up to rupees 10,000 only. F. Deduction under section 80TB. This deduction is applicable and allowable to senior citizens who are of the age of 60 years and above during the year. This deduction is allowable on interest of saving account, fixed deposit account, recurring deposit, etc. from bank or post office. The deduction is allowable up to 50,000 rupees. Thus, we have seen some of the deductions to be made from total income which are required to be studied for the purpose of examination. We have seen that some deductions are made for payments for particular purposes like medical treatment, etc. Some are for investments like LIC or deposits in bank, and some are for expenses like medical treatment, tuition fees, interest on loan for education and house building, etc. There are some deductions under this chapter for some incomes and for some percentage of income also out of the income from specified businesses like under section 80P, 80HH, 80IB, 80IBA, 80HH, etc., which are not required to be studied here. There is also a provision to allow deduction from the total income in case of a person with disability which affects her ability to earn more than under section 80U. It may further be noted that this chapter 6A is in respect of deductions to be made in computing total income, which contains sections of deductions from 80C to 80U. It is clarified in section 88(2) of this chapter that aggregate amount of deductions under this chapter shall not in any case exceed the gross total income of the assessee. It has also been clarified in section 80C that any deduction admissible under any provision of this chapter in respect of certain incomes shall not be allowed unless a return of income is furnished by the assessee on or before the due date specified under subsection 1 of section 139, which prescribes the time limit for furnishing the return of income under the Income Tax Act. In the next coming lessons, we will discuss about the income tax authorities and the power of an income tax officer and commissioner of income tax under the Income Tax Act 1961. We will also discuss some matter relating to deductions in the coming video. If you like this video, then please press the thumbs up icon and subscribe the channel, which is free of cost, and press the bell icon next to it for getting the notification of my next video. Thanks.